Yes, hi guys. Most of you have been asking me questions regarding to what we call the standard contract for what we call domestic workers here in Qatar. According, what is the standard contract? What should that standard contract of a domestic worker constitute? What do you understand, or what should you find on that contract in case you are being given that contract either by an agent or by even your sponsor? First of all, something that definitely you should understand. If it's your first time coming across this channel, by the way, don't forget to hesitate. Give me a plus button, touch the plus button, save this video for your favorites, and also make sure you subscribe to this channel and make sure you'll be updated every time. So we look at a domestic work visa, or what we call its contract, or what is that contract for a domestic worker. Yes, the contract, a standard contract for a domestic worker, has a compartment of very many parts. Definitely should understand before you signing. Most of you have been caught unaware because you do not know what that contract should have or what should inclusive of that contract, and most of you, you've ended up signing what we call unscripted document that you definitely don't even understand, which is even out of the bound that the Ministry of Labor will not give you such kind of document in any way. Yes, a domestic work contract, what should contain? One is the employer details, should have the employer details. Then two, it should have your details, the full details of you, the passport, because they will be in the directorate of passports. Then the date of the start of the contract, and when you'll be finishing the contract, it should be on that contract. Working hours and rest hours according to the Ministry of Labor standard contract. All these are inclusive. The salary, the wages, how much are you going to be paid by that company or by that sponsor should be inclusive, or should be inclusive on that contract there to sign. It should have what you call your annual leave, what you call your annual leave, or what you call your vacation times or days, and how much, or you'll be paid a flight ticket to and fro, and your wages all should be inclusive on that contract. We look at the sick leave, should also be included on that contract as you are signing, because it is part of the government, or it's part of the law that you're supposed to get what you call the sick leave days, which should be either calculated annually or should be calculated or given to you in case you have in any way. Then we look at accommodation and food. It should be part of the it should be part of the contract. When you are signing, check for that column that talks about what you call accommodation and food as a domestic worker. It should be given to you by what you call your sponsor. Although some of the sponsors, although scripted themselves with kind of the agents, and definitely they do not want to see all those. They do not want to give us that contract, such that because they know you are aware, and definitely you'll have the right to demand. So this is the opportunity for you to know whatever we are talking about, it is in what we call the standard copy of the contract for domestic workers. Then the medical and what you call the social cares. Yes, you are entitled to medical with your sponsor providing that medical in case you are sick or in case you have any injury that is being sustained to you during the line of work. Then we look at travel expenses. Yes, it is the right, it is the role, the responsibility of the person recruiting you to pay what you call the travel recruitment or the travel expenses from your country to his place of work. Yes, most of you have been lied about by agents, you've been paid up money, and you've been double checked in any way or the other, because you do not definitely understand, or you do not know that the travel expenses are supposed to be incurred by what you call the sponsor who is willing to take you. Then end of service bonus on that contract should be clearly stipulated according to the laws, according to the labor laws here in Qatar. They definitely have to be included on that contract. Then also we look at the termination of the contract. Where the termination of the contract, at what period is the employer or your sponsor entitled to terminate the contract, or at what period in either way are you eligible to terminate the contract? Both of the parties, there is where you have the right or where the employer has the right in that too. Then also we look at what you call the recruitment fees. Who bears the recruitment? The sponsor is the one supposed to pay the recruitment fees. Yes, most of you will agree with me. Most of you have been scripted because you've been paid or you've been forced to pay recruitment fees without the knowledge or without the prior knowledge of your sponsor, apparently that right now. But according to the law and the standard copy of the contract that you are supposed to sign, it is clearly stipulated that the recruitment fees are supposed to be borne by what you call the employer or the sponsor. Then we look at the last one, or definitely the last one that you should understand, is the obligation of the worker. What are your obligations as What should you do and what should not do? Or if you are recruited, what are your obligations? Short of, most of us have fallen in trouble because we fail to perform the obligations that are within the stipulated of our employer, our sponsor, and the sponsors have ended up turning against us, even turning the way that they don't want to pay us our gratitude or pay us in the service bonus because of that. So in the copy of the contract, a standard copy of the contract, want to sign, definitely all this has to be clearly written out, that definitely you can really understand and know this is what I'm supposed to do. Most of you, you've not reached out that kind of contracts. You've not seen that copy of the contract. But that exactly, that's what the contract should be have, or what it should be, as what we call a standard copy of the contract in the Ministry of Labor or according to the state of Qatar. Hope I've tried to share something for you. Thank you so much, by the way. If you feel this is very useful, let us try to share to other people. By the way, don't forget, it's Mex Creation giving you all these updates, and don't forget to follow my TikTok account and also Facebook, follow me on Facebook, where we shall get to be enlightened about of such kind of instances, of such kind of laws that we get to update ourselves in any way or the other, to avoid the employers to get advantage of us because we are not aware of the law.